Hi Rebel Teacher Network. Today I want to talk to you about asking for help. Now I know this is something that can be really difficult and can bring up a lot of resistance in people. I definitely have felt resistance in the last couple of years since leaving teaching in everything that I've done, but also looking back when I was teaching. Sometimes I didn't ask for help when really it would have been the best thing for me to do. And now I kind of understand a bit more about what was going on in my mind at that time. I can see why I wasn't asking for help. And I want to share some of those tips with you today to help you. If you're finding asking for help difficult, I'm going to share 3 tips to help you ask for help more. Because collaboration and support is so important in life, but especially in teaching, because it can be really tough to try and do it alone. So here's 3 ways that I have since understood what's going on in my mind and how asking for help can be actually easier than I thought it was. So firstly, I suggest flipping the situation. And you'll know that I love flipping things. I love flipping thinking. So flipping the situation in this case means thinking about how you feel when you are asked for help. So what I mean by that is quite often I'm stopping myself asking for help because I think, oh, well, they're going to think this about me. They're going to think that I can't cope. They're going to think that I'm not good enough. They're going to think that I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, I'm going to be bothering them. They've got too much on. They're going to think that I'm a burden. They're going to think that they have to help me. They feel obliged to help me. And actually, when I get asked for help, I rarely think those things. I think things like, oh, I'm so glad that person's asked me because they value me. They value my experience, my expertise, and they want me to help them in some way. And I feel really special about that. You know, it's a really nice feeling to be asked for help. Or when someone asks me for help, I immediately want to help because I want to help them. I want to show them that I value them. You know, if it's a friend or a colleague or someone that I really care about, of course I want to help them. I don't feel obliged to help. Oh, I have to help them because they're my friend, or I have to help them because they're my colleague. I just think, yeah, of course I want to help, because why wouldn't I? You know, especially if we're going for a shared goal or a shared outcome at work, why wouldn't I want to help someone? So it's really interesting to flip it round, because quite often the things that are stopping me from asking for help, or were stopping me from asking for help, actually aren't really true for other people. So think about, if you do ask for help, what might that person think? They might actually be really pleased that you've asked them and really want to help you from a genuine place. And that might make the request easier. Secondly, don't minimise your request. Now, this is something that people do all the time because they want to be polite and they want to not take up people's time, and I totally get that. And I'm not saying don't be polite and don't be genuine and authentic. I really think that is important, but you can do that in a way that doesn't minimise you and your request. What I mean by that is when people say things like, oh, I'm sorry to take up your time. You know, I don't want to bother you, but I'm sure it doesn't matter. It's not that important. But if you could help me, you know, by saying those things, actually, what you're saying to the other person is, actually, this thing isn't that important, and I'm still taking your time up with it. And actually, I think the message that would be stronger there and clearer would be, I know I'm asking for some of your time, but I really would value it. I really would value the time that you give me. And I'm aware that I'm asking for some of your time, but I'm asking you because you are the best person I can think of to come to with this. So let them know why you are asking them for help. You know, maybe you say, like, I'm really struggling with this thing, and when I think about it, you are the person that springs to mind that just seems to do this so well. And that's why I'm asking you. Or, you know, say, I really would love to have your perspective on this because I really think you would bring some different ideas, because I know that this is something that you seem to do really well. And I know that we've talked about this before and you have some really interesting ideas, so could you help me? I think people, you'll find, will be much more willing to help you, actually, if you haven't minimised your request and you haven't said, I know I'm taking up your time and it's actually not that important. You say, I really would value your time and your experience if you could help me with this. And thirdly, my tip for asking for help is about being detached from the outcome. Being detached means that you realise and you recognise what's in your control and what's out of your control. So what's in your control when you're asking for help are the words that you say and the actions that you take. And apart from that, everything else is out of your control. So you can control how you ask for help. You can ask for help in a really genuine and authentic, polite way. You can do it however you like. But as soon as you've finished asking for help, the response that comes back is out of your control. So you can ask for help and someone can say no. They can say yes, they can say no. They can say yes, but it will have to be next week. They can say no, I want to help you, but I can't. They can say no, I don't want to help you. They can say all kinds of things. And if you can be detached from that, it can be so helpful, because someone who responds in the way that you maybe didn't want or you didn't expect, or you weren't the opposite of what you were hoping for, quite often probably isn't anything to do with you. It might be that person doesn't feel they have time at the moment. They have too much on. They're too stressed. They're too busy. Maybe they don't value themselves enough to feel they can offer you anything in terms of support. Maybe it's just not the right time for them. It probably isn't really anything to do with you. As long as you have asked in a way that you feel comfortable with and you think is polite and authentic and all the things that's important to you in how you ask for help, the response is actually out of your control. So don't let someone saying no or not helping you in the way that you would like them to stop you from asking them again. Maybe they can't help you now, but when you ask them in a month's time, maybe they can. And maybe that one person can't help you, but maybe the next person can. So don't let one no stop you from asking for more yeses. And that's what I mean about being detached from the outcome. So just thinking about those things, the importance of flipping the way that you think about asking for help. How do you feel when you're asked for help? And just thinking how that might change the situation. Not minimising your request, thinking about letting someone know the value that their help would give you and letting them know that. And thirdly, being detached from the outcome so that you are not hanging on to them, saying yes and putting all your eggs in one basket, and actually just knowing that you can ask for help and their response can be their response. Hopefully will help you think about what's stopping you from asking for help and help you do it. So perhaps have a think about what you maybe do need some help with. What are you struggling with right now? What are you finding difficult? What could be improved with the input of someone else? Who could help you with that? Who do you know that would be really good at that would really offer something different? And how could you go about asking them? I really hope that those tips are helpful. If you like a few more, I've written a blog and I've put a few more tips in there about how to be really break down that request for help to make it as easy as possible, because I know it was something that I got stuck with for a long time, and I know lots of people can get stuck with. So hopefully these tips are helpful. Hopefully the blog is helpful. And if you now are able to go and ask for help, I would love to know how it's helped you. So I will see you soon, Rebel Teacher Network, for some more tips on something else. Let me know if there's anything you want me to talk about, and I hope it was helpful, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.